Hello, and welcome to our channel. Today we're going to explore the untold stories of the richest slaves in ancient Rome and how they gained their wealth, power, and resilience in the face of adversity. Ancient Rome, a mighty empire that stretched across the Mediterranean and left a lasting impact on the world. But what about those who lived in its shadow? The slaves. They were the backbone of the empire, yet their stories often go untold. In ancient Rome, slaves made up nearly one-third of the population, and while they were stripped of their freedom, some of them still managed to accumulate great wealth. Through hard work, determination, and a bit of luck, these slaves were able to break free from their chains and rise to the top of Roman society. So, let's meet 10 such incredible slaves of ancient Rome, who rose above their circumstances and left their mark on history. Let's start with Tramalchio, a former slave who rose to become one of the wealthiest men in Rome. Born into slavery, Tramalchio worked tirelessly to become a successful merchant. His wealth and influence allowed him to attain his freedom, and he was soon known throughout the city for his extravagant banquets. Tramalchio's banquet was legendary, featuring opulent feasts, fine wine, and endless entertainment. People loved his wit and charisma, and his parties were always the talk of the town. His rise to fame and wealth is a testament to hard work and determination. He was extremely intelligent and witty, and a master at storytelling, regaling his guests with tales of his adventures and experiences. His wealth and influence enabled him to gain even more power and prestige as a shrewd businessman. Number 2. Epaphroditus. Epaphroditus was the slave and personal secretary to Nero, the infamous Roman emperor. His intelligence and wit quickly earned him the emperor's trust. Through his position, Epaphroditus was able to accumulate great wealth and become one of the richest men in Rome. Despite the difficulties in his early life, he worked hard to earn his freedom. His natural business acumen and ability to make profitable investments made him a huge fortune. Using his wealth and influence, Epaphroditus became a philanthropist who was praised for his generosity because of his support to artists, writers, and scientists that pushed the boundaries of human knowledge. Number 3. Emancipatis. Born into slavery, this remarkable man rose to prominence as a successful businessman, owning several shops and even a large estate. His hard work, perseverance, and determination did pay off, and he was eventually able to buy his freedom. In ancient Rome, slaves were considered property and had very few rights or freedom. They were often subject to harsh conditions and treatment by their owners, and their opportunities for advancement were limited. However, some slaves, like Emancipatis, were able to gain favor from their owners to earn their freedom, either through buying it themselves or being granted it by their owners. Number 4. Filament. Filament was a former slave who became a successful actor in ancient Rome. Despite the limitations and restrictions placed on him as a slave, Filament rose to prominence in the entertainment industry through his talent. With his great performance and skills, he was able to capture the attention and admiration of the wealthy citizens of Rome, who paid him to see his acts. His success as an actor made a lot of wealth and fortune to eventually buy his own freedom. Number 5. Yukis. Yukis was not just an ordinary slave, but was a man of remarkable talent and determination. He rose to great heights as a physician and healer, serving the wealthy and powerful of Rome. His exceptional skills in the art of healing earned him a reputation as one of the finest practitioners of his time, and his services were in great demand among the elite. Yukis was a slave with a purpose, driven by his passion for medicine and his desire to help others. He worked on his skills day in and day out, dedicating himself to the study of the human body and the science of healing. He was not content to simply exist as a slave. Instead, he sought to break free from the shackles of his circumstances and achieve greatness. Number 6. Callus. Although born into slavery, Callus refused to let his circumstances define him and instead used his wit and determination to create a legacy that was endured for centuries to come. Callus was highly skilled in the art of metalworking and used his talent to create stunning pieces of jewelry and other works of art. His skill was soon recognized by the wealthy citizens of Rome, and his work gained a high demand among the elite. Callus's creations were not only beautiful, but it was also practical and very functional. Soon with his influence, he was able to eventually buy his freedom. Number 7. Felix. Felix was a gifted musician and entertainer who used his talents to entertain the wealthy citizens of Rome. His performances were not only entertaining but also thought-provoking, which pushes the boundaries of what was acceptable in ancient society. He was a true innovator, and his performances were highly sought after by the elite. Number 8. Callus. Callus had a wild ride. He used to be a slave in Rome to a Christian master who saw his potential and put him in charge of a bank. Unfortunately, the money in the bank disappeared, and Callus had to flee but was eventually caught and sent to work in the mines. After being freed, he went back to Rome and became the administrator of a Christian cemetery. He was then ordained as a deacon and eventually became the pope, despite objections from a rival priest named Epaphroditus. As his reputation grew, so did his wealth and influence. Callus believed in God's mercy and would forgive murderers and adulterers if they repented, which caused a big controversy in the church. Sadly, he was killed in a riot, but was later remembered as a martyr. Number 9. Oneimus. Oneimus, a slave in ancient Rome, was driven by a fierce entrepreneurial spirit and a desire to create a better life for himself. With his unwavering determination, Oneimus worked hard and saved every penny he could until he had enough to buy his freedom and to start his own business. Eventually, his business flourished, and he became the proud owner of several shops and a large estate in Rome. Number 10. Demetrius. Demetrius, a slave in ancient Rome, was known for his athletic abilities. He excelled in various athletic contests and tournaments, which brought him fame and wealth. His exceptional talent and victories in all these competitions made him a great fortune. Eventually, Demetrius used the money to buy his own freedom and lived the rest of his life as a free man. That's all for today's video. Thank you for joining us on this journey through ancient Rome and uncovering the stories of its wealthiest slaves. Remember, history is not just a collection of facts and dates. It's a tapestry of human experience and triumph. Until next time, keep exploring and discovering the stories that shape our world. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.